ke kopa ho presenta ho lona Ntate Paul Mashatile e leng our Deputy President. Thank you very much.
Le ka dula fatshe. Ke a leboga Premier for that introduction. It is true what the Premier just said. I was born in a place called Gerardsville. It's in Pretoria. But I grew up in Alexander Township. And this place, Gerardsville, was actually a farm, Mamkapa. So, andika look figure farming. Ndazalwa khona before I went to the township. So, thank you very much, Premier, for that introduction. Ha ke lebohe Program Director wa rona. Ke lebohe Premier wa rona, Mema Queen Letsoga Matai, who just introduced me. And then I heard some people saying, Mama Action. So I said to her, Uzokshayu nomvula wena. So, tshwantse ke khabise ka Mama Action wa Free State. Ke protector olomo leskalwana. But thank you very much, Premier. I want to greet Minister of Agriculture, Minister John Steenhuisen, Minister of Land Reform and Rural Development, Minister Mzwanele Nyonso. Ke dumedisa di Deputy Ministers kaofela tse di leng teng. You have all been introduced. I don't think I saw any MP, but if they are here, we recognize them. Our former Premier of the Free State, Mantombela Kutleba Ruteng somewhere. Alala Mantombela alala. Okay, I wanna joal. Ukense kie ya ko famungwe. Let me also greet our district mayor, the mayor of the area where we are, our host, Mayor Ditlhabeng, Mayor Tseki. All MMCs and councillors who are here today, Marena Rona Linteng, our traditional leaders, Realidumedi Salilona, Kidumedi Sehape, the farming community, the representatives from the farming community, the farmers union, but also our community members who are here and the community groupings that are here, the agribusiness partners and other business people who are here. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you, good afternoon, Dumela. Ke ile ka fihla mo tulong yena last year. Ha ke hopola hantle Ntate Scott, it was March last year, somewhere around there. I was invited, ke bontate pitso le re mmogo investment to come and see their investment. And the reason Ntate Pitso invited me because he knew that I'm passionate with agriculture. And that he's involved in this, I said, I want to come and see what you are doing. Ka nnete re thabile haholo go bona ntho e etsahalang mona. I think one should say what is happening here is real progress. And we came again at the right time because they are harvesting. Even last time when I came, they were busy harvesting, so I was fortunate to eat some apples. They are harvesting because harvesting is a result of hard work. You don't just, harvest. You start by ensuring that you grow, you plant, you grow, you nurture these things, and therefore they will give you the results. That's why they are harvesting now. Now, Ntate Pitso, before we came here, he said, yes, there are people here who might raise challenges, but the main thing today is to celebrate. We want to celebrate this success. When they were given support by the Free State government, some few years ago, 18 million rand, baqala mosebetsi ona. Later on, now the IDC, about another 70 or 80 million. They are succeeding in what they are doing. So I want to say, Ntate Pitso and Lebao Sebetsan Lebonor, Hakatla Kilimung Kajen Wabona, I'm accompanied ke Matona Muso, all the ministers, deputy ministers, Renale the Premier, the MECs, Mayor Joale. And the main thing that makes us to come here like that is because we are coming here to support. We want to see more. You are doing well, but we want to see more. I was saying to my team as we were leaving the processive plants that next time when we come back here, there must be more than one processing plants. Why not 10 processing plants? I agree the demand is high out there. You are processing, you are exporting to the Middle East, you are processing and exporting to the UK, to most parts of Africa. So the demand is there for apples. So why not have more processing plants? Also, Tate Pitso was saying, if they get resources ministers, they will also start producing juice, right? Ama juice. They don't have the equipment, they need support. So much as we have supported them as government to produce apples, we must support them down the value chain. And I like what the Premier said, that some of the apples that fall down, they are rotten. There can be another value chain of feeding them to the pigs. I don't know if there is farmers here who are involved in piggery. Habalinteng, the apple kitsena. ditholeng, go and feed, so that this value chain must grow. Iepil. Now, we were very lucky this morning because when we arrived, we were given an opportunity to go around. Railobona Maluti Apple Pack House and the State Apple Farm, Ratara Fitamona, and we saw how they are growing apples and they are harvesting. Now, Ntate Pitso has already told us how they are going to expand. I won't talk about that. Just to say that you have our support as you expand. And Minister Steenhuisen said, you need markets when you expand. So that's where we must work with you, because as you expand, you need more markets where you can send your goods. Program Director, it is commendable that the apple production and agro-processing project has made such significant headway, which includes transformation. We like this transformation because haritlamona artlobona famuya makoa or famuya batwa reabona le sebetsa mmogo. So we encourage this partnership. There's a lot of land here, and Minister Noncho, we want to see acceleration of land reform. That's one of the responsibilities the President has given me. He said, I want you to go and accelerate land reform. Make sure that more of our people have access to land. And as they have access to land, they'll be able to deal with their challenges. Deputy Minister Mambetlala, farm workers need housing, decent housing. So as we provide more land, must banceda abantu babathole izindlu, decent housing. But we also want to see people farming. We want to see more black farmers. So I'm happy that here you are working together, Kuobos, Yeleverksam, Met Pitso, and others. You must continue this. But in a country where black people are so many, we want to see many black farmers. Mamkap, Minister Steenhuisen, we want to see more black farmers. I'm happy that there was a young man here who was, we were told that he's a farmer, very passionate, farmer boy, they call him, very passionate. We are happy, Farmer Boy. Mobilize more young people to come into this sector. I was very pleased when I went to KwaZulu-Natal, I think it was last year, or it may even be 2023. When I visited KZN, I found more young farmers who are women. And they stood there to speak, and all of them said, Deputy President, I employ so many people. Another one, I employ so many people. And they said, all we need is access to additional funding. We know how to do the work. We are farmers. And if I'm not wrong, they were all less than 30 years. Young. So I support the enthusiasm that I see that we are now bringing young farmers on board. Let young people come into this sector. Program Director, The President recently signed the Expropriation Act. And through this law, we want to make sure that more people have access to land. And now there were some people making a lot of noise that we want to grab people's farms and so on. Some people will even say we are killing farmers. Ayikho leyo nto. There are no farmers that are being killed in South Africa by us. Yes, we know that there have been criminal activities in some farms. That's why we are encouraging the implementation of the rural safety strategy. Before I came here yesterday, I said to Mdu in my office, I want the Minister of Police to be part of this program. When we go out, if the minister can't come, the deputy minister and the officials to work with us as we deal with this program of agriculture and land reform so that we can deal with safety of the farming community. Not just farmers, even ordinary members in the farm workers themselves, they must be protected. That's what we must do. So you must not be afraid. There's nobody who's out there to grab anybody's land. The Appropriation Act has got proper procedures that are set to deal with the issue of expropriations of land. Section 25 of the Constitution allows the state to expropriate property for a public purpose or in the public interest with appropriate and equitable compensation mechanisms. Even where the Act talks about nil compensation, there are still processes that are followed where there are engagements, etc., to arrive at the position where the government then expropriate land. But there's another problem in South Africa that many of us are scared to talk about. We are going to drive in all the provinces. You know, I drove this morning from Johannesburg. They are huge farms. Since I left my house, I was passing huge tracts of land, farms. And I have no doubt that some of the people who own those farms are not even in South Africa. Abekola. It's a problem. And I'm not saying go grab their farms. The Freedom Charter said the people shall share. Yeah. We want to share this land. Because we also want to farm. Who said black people don't want to farm? Now, there's another problem. They say that when we give people land, they start fighting, and then the projects don't proceed. We need to fix that, especially with the CPAs. When you get land, work together to make the land productive. Why are we fighting? Because if we don't make the land productive, then it means the program of land reform is not succeeding. So siyacela, let us not fight. Let us till the land. Let us make the land productive. I'm going to continue to work with the Minister of Agriculture and Land Reform and the other officials who are involved in this. Will work with the provinces through the DDM approach so that we know that together we can accelerate this program and make it work. We must address historical injustices and ensure that more people get involved, because we want the agricultural sector to succeed. I was saying to Minister Steenhuisen and Minister Noncho this morning that I'm not happy that when the Minister of Finance was talking about the GDP numbers, he said agriculture didn't do well in the previous year. We want agriculture to be one of the biggest sectors that contribute to the GDP of South Africa. So let's change it around. Let's make sure that agriculture must not be down there. I think if I'm correct, the Minister of Finance said it contributed less than 4%, something like that. We want it to grow. We want to see agricultural up there competing with mining and the other sectors of the economy. And because if if agriculture grows, it means we can employ more people. And that is very important. I was told when we had a processing plant that in this project, they are already employing a lot of people. And as they expand, Ntate Pitso said, we want in the next 5 years to be employing 200, how many? 200, yes, just in a processing plant. But if you multiply this processing plant, you expand the farm production, you will employ more and more and more people. And that's what we want to see happening. Let me just give you some good statistics briefly. Since the inception of land reform program in 1994, a total of 5.3 million hectares of land has been acquired through land redistribution, benefiting over 315,000 persons, inclusive of labor tenants, farm dwellers, and extension of security of tenure occupiers. But we want to see more of this happening. These numbers, Minister Noncho, must grow even bigger. It is also important to note that the 5.3 million hectares include the 2.4 million hectares acquired through the proactive land acquisition strategy. So, am I happy with these numbers? I would say we are doing something, but we can do more, Minister Noncho. That's why we use the word accelerate. Let's do more, let's do more. Baningi abantu abafuna umhlaba. Baningi abantu abafuna ukulima. Baningi abantu abafuna izindlu, decent housing. So let's accelerate. We're going, with the ministers, one of the things we're going to do is to work with the CPAs. I get disturbed when I hear that the CPAs are fighting and projects are collapsing. So we're going to try and work closely with them to ensure that these projects are succeeding. Now, ministers and deputy ministers, let me thank you most sincerely, because you have responded to a number of challenges that have been raised here. But I always believe that it is not enough to respond to challenges in a meeting like this. What I want to see is follow-up. Masibuye. Masibuye bantwi. I want to see follow-up. I was very happy when I met Deputy Minister Kapa there, walking slowly on the farm. And I said, have you been here before? And he said, I'm always here. Deputy President, I'm always here. Minister stays and said to me last week, he was somewhere here. Minister Nonjo was somewhere here in the Free State. My deputy ministers, Niabu Yanan, Ma'am Bafuni Zindra, my farm workers. Yeah. Minister Nonjo will give you land. Deputy Minister Barry Swartz, make sure that the environmental issues are attended to quickly. Because sometimes just delay as on into the environment. I was push faster to make sure that our programs move faster. Now, the agricultural and agro-processing master plan emphasizing the following issues, and I want us not to lose sight of them: increasing food security, improving access to local and export markets, promoting and accelerating sustainable transformation in the agriculture and agro-processing sector, improving competitiveness, and fostering entrepreneurial opportunities, particularly for young people, but also leveraging on technology. Of course, there's always going to have to be a balancing act, that we don't use technology to an extent that we destroy employment. But let's totally balance. When we become innovative, we must not lose jobs. We must train more people. Awukho umshini ungazi umuntu oyi-one nje. Umshini onjani loyo? We must train more people. There are young people out there who have come from colleges and universities who are looking for jobs. Train them. They will know how to operate that machine. Then you can buy more of those machines, increase your processing plants, because you will have more skillful people who can operate them. Program Director, a lot has been said by the ministers, the Premier, and everybody else. Batho ba community ya rona, re na le lona. Re tlile mo jwalo re batlo lokisa mathata a lona. Mathata a mesebetsi, mathata a lefatshe, le kgono lema, le lona le be le dijo, le be le mesebetsi bana ba lona ba sebetsi. That's why we're here. Re tlonne re khutla, le ska re fella pelo. Le me Mantombela wa itse, I've been to the Free State with her several times. Na ke motho ratang gore ke nne ke ya on the ground ke bona gore batho ba etsang. So I kept telling people that my other name is Thomas. Makgolo a ka o bona. Ntwa ke sa e bone a ke ikgolo. O ka mpotsa ntate Sekoto or you are running successful farms. If I don't see them, I don't believe. That's why I live on the ground. Ha ke fetsa mo Freestad ke a KZN. Ha tloa KZN ke a Eastern Cape. Ndifuna ukubona lo msebenzi othi bawuyenza ngempela. Zabe nginawo maqapha lapha Eastern Cape. Siyakhona. Nkosi yami Namash, wena uhlala uhamba nami njalo. Re a tsamaya everywhere because ha re sebetseng le batho. Singasebenzi nabantu virtually. Wabona online. Abayifuni online abantu. Bafuna usibona siyaphila ngempela. Sikhona sibave nabo inkinga zabo yini. Re ba utlwe batho. So Re thaba haholo re be le lona kajeno. Ke motlotlo haholo re ke fumane tšhono ena ya gore ke tlo le utlwa le lona, ke dule le lona. Last year when I sat here, when I said to Remoho, I will come back, they didn't believe. Here am I. So, ha ke re ke a boya, fela re tlo boya kaofela. Le di ministers, le di DM, le di deputy ministers, re tlo khutla kaofela because these projects must succeed. They must succeed. So, Program Director, as I conclude, it is imperative that we pay special attention to ensuring that the land released to address historical imbalances is used profitably by guaranteeing proper recapitalization through targeted grants and infrastructure. This is so important because as government, if we give people land and walk away, they are going to fail. You can guarantee that. So I'm happy, Minister Nonjo, about your programs of offering support. I'm happy that the Land Bank is here, the IDC and other funding institutions. Land Bank, masingahlali nemali ema bank. The money is needed on the ground, not in the bank. I say this because I know bankers are so conservative. They like the money to sit in the bank. No, the money is needed here on the ground. And I'm happy, Land Bank, that we are here. I'm told that your money hasn't arrived here. Maize leyo mali. Because umaiza le mali ha chelete na itla, people are going to succeed. Scoto has shown you that if we give money to projects that are bankable, they will succeed. Let's give them the money. Ngaloko nifaki imali ema-bank mayisi. I want to end by encouraging those who inherit farms, use them productively. We will support you through various programs and initiatives. Work hard to make sure those projects succeed. We need to foreground a closer collaborations, and I'm happy that the ministers are doing that. When Minister Steenhuisen arrived and Minister Noncho, I said, these are my twins. Because they must work together. On this program, they must work together. It's not a question of loving or kissing each other. They must work together. My twins, they must work together. I'm concluding by saying the following, that we must overcome the remaining obstacles to reach our objectives of redress and achieve equitable access to land while increasing production. So we don't just want to distribute land, we want land to be productive. Masibangekena abantu to make land productive. I'm pleased with the work that is being done here and look forward to seeing the continuation of the agriculture development program in other parts of the province and across the country. I've heard the people here saying proudly that they are going to make this project the best in the country, bigger than in the Western Cape. I like that competition. So go on, compete, because when we compete, we can all become better. Ke leboga go menagane.